So, hello everybody. Welcome to the um, 58th book club discussion. Today we are discussing The Final Curtain by Kigo Higashino. Uh, Before we begin today, one of the things was that Kigo Higashino, when we had chosen his book, in fact, it was just a couple of weeks after we chose his book that he passed away. And he's left behind such a vast uh, collection of work, more than 100 books, in fact, I heard, and more than 100,000 copies sold across the world. And his translations are into English are so popular across the world. In fact, Japanese literature itself has been very popular in the recent years. We'll be talking about that also in today's presentation. And one particular author in this is definitely Mr. Kigo Higashino. He was born in Osaka, Japan in 1958, and he trained as an electrical engineer. He worked as an engineer before he actually became a novelist. His first book was called After School, and it was published in 1985. He's considered one of Japan's most successful mystery writers. He's written for more than 4 decades. He's best known internationally for The Devotion of Suspect X, Journey Under the Midnight Sun, Malice, Newcomer, The Miracles of the Namiya General Store, and The Final Curtain. For a long time, he wrote fiction along with his engineering job. He entered his manuscripts of various awards, and the first book, The After School, won the Edogawa Rampo Prize. And with that, he became a full time writer. Later, he was the president of the Mystery Writers of Japan. He's also been a judge for major literary prizes. He's very famous for being publicity shy, and in fact, even his passing away now was announced by the publisher. There's very little that he tries to do by form of publicity or showing his face. He wants to be, lead a simple, anonymous life as far as possible. He's very interested in science, logic, and technology. In fact, his mysteries are also handled in a kind of a logical puzzle kind of a way, which is how he likes it. And his novels frequently cross all genre boundaries. One of his major reprint of about nearly 100,000 copies reprint, he donated all his royalties to the 2011 Tohoyuku disaster. So one of his quotes is where he says, I want readers to be continually surprised by my ideas. And he says that this has always been his cornerstone with which he decides whether what he's writing, how catchy it is, how interesting it is, because each time that was his idea that there must be something very surprising to the reader. And the surprise need not be in the mystery, but probably in characters or why they did a particular thing or what pushes them to do it. Um, yeah, so more that was just about his honors and the awards which he's won, and about more than 100 million copies of his books being sold in Japan, and about this. So another interesting thing is the final curtain in Japanese is known as Inori no Maku ga oriri toki. So that is means when the curtain of prayer falls. And so the book also won then a very famous literature prize in Japan called as the E.G. Yoshikawa Prize for Literature. It was also adapted into a film known as The Crimes That Bind in 2018 in Japan. So when the curtain of prayer falls, is has a very beautiful meaning in very beautiful meaning for which it's called so in Japan. The meaning has a various connotations. What one is the literal, theater curtain falling, the ending of a performance, prayer, death, revelation, and also the closing of a long chapter in Kaga's life. The English title, on the other hand, the final curtain, some of them feel it doesn't really do justice to the Japanese title, because in the English title is more of the theatrical metaphor of the final curtain, and also to say that this is Kaga's concluding case. Another clarification is the final curtain was actually not Higashino's final novel. In fact, even I thought maybe that is his final novel, because he had not, he'd not, he passed away soon after the book came out in English. So I thought probably that's why he wanted to finish this series, maybe because he knew about his, cancer diagnosis. But surprisingly, that was not the case. It was a planned move by him where he wanted to finish that series of Kaga's novels. In fact, this book was written a decade before his death, and it refers to the conclusion of Kaga's story. It's just that it was translated and published in English now. But after this book, also, he continued publishing for many years afterwards, too. Uh, so basically, this book is so much more than a whodunit. There is a police procedural, there is a puzzle, there's a psychological mystery, and there's also family tragedy. In fact, two different families' tragedies. Um, so one of the things in this is that how the way the clues are assembled, how timelines are being, worked out in the book, and little small details. In fact, there's one where Kaga goes through 5,000 photos just to find whether this particular person is there. So someone asks him, why are you searching so much? Why do searching so much to see her face in the photos? And he says, no, I've actually grown fond of her. I don't want to see her face in these photos. So I'm searching so hard so that her face is not there in these photos. So I thought very beautifully those kind of scenes have been created by the author. And there's a lot of past and present converging in the book, which also makes it very interesting to read. Um, and Publishers Weekly, in fact, described the book as a poignant, fair play whodunit, and noted that Higashino deliberately reveals surprises slowly while placing unusual emphasis on Kaga's emotional response. So there are some recurring themes actually in Higashino's novels. It's definitely very different. Each one is very, very different. But the beauty of his books, I feel, are because there are some kind of writing style and some kind of themes that we can expect from him. And one is that he does not create this very simplistic monster characters as the villains. These are people who are very human, and they have love, they have a family, they have emotions, they have hopes, dreams, ambitions. But there are things that go wrong in their life, things that don't work out for them. And most of the time it's because they love people and they have a family that they are pushed into doing things that they don't want to do. uh, so he is interested in the terrifying possibility that ordinary human emotions can produce extraordinary crimes. So like love can produce violence, loyalty can produce deception, a desire to protect someone can actually destroy another person. Guilt can create kindness, or it can also create further cruelty. And all this is visible in all of his books. And the entire mystery becomes like a moral laboratory. That's his way of dealing with his books. So some of the themes which keep recurring in his books are also which are specifically brought out, especially in this, The Final Curtain, is about how parents protect their children, how children carry the burden of the parents' choices, abandonment, sacrifice, shame, secrecy, and emotional inheritance. Um, so one more theme which he talks a lot about, especially in The Final Curtain, is, can love excuse the damage it causes? So, what are parents willing to do for their children, and what are children forced to carry because of those choices? Um, and I think he brought it out very beautifully. Like, even Kaga's mother, for a very long time, it's not revealed why she really left them. It's just she's sad, she's upset, and everything is seen, but she leaves the husband and kids, husband and child, and there is absolutely no reasoning given for it. But because Kaga doesn't know the reason, it's like even the reader is kept in the dark for it. But he carries the burden of it, you know. And Higashino repeatedly presents behavior which originates in love but produces terrible consequences. And that makes moral judgment extremely difficult. We understand why someone does something, we may even sympathize, but there is understanding is not the same as absolution. And Higashino deliberately keeps those two things separate. I thought also when we are talking about this book, I'm not sure if you have read, the others have read the previous ones of Kaga, but I think he deserves a slide of his own. So his name is pronounced as Kyoichiro Kaga. And in this, he's a detective, he's a son, he's an observer. But generally, across the books, if you see, he's very exceptionally perceptive, and he's very patient, and he doesn't push himself. He's not flashy, he's very patient, very emotionally restrained. Another book in which his character shines is The Newcomer. I really loved it because in that he just goes through, there's a crime committed, and there are lot of people involved surrounding that crime, and everyone tells a lie. And that lie is not because of the crime. That lie could be something completely different for totally different reasons. So Kaga needs to very patiently try to find out why each person is lying, and maybe it relates to the crime or not. So that is what he needs to decipher, and I thought that's so beautifully done, and his character kind of shines in that book, I feel.
Which is that book, Archana?
The Newcomer.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So he is very interested. This as a character, it's very evident that he's interested in people, their emotions, and their character as much as he's interested in the evidence. He carries many unresolved questions about his mother in the book, and this time, usually, he's only the observer and the detective, but this time he becomes also part of the mystery. So I just thought, the way the meaning of curtain over here has like a lot of connotations over here. I think we already spoke about this. Basically, since it is dealing with theater, so there's the about the theater performance ending, secrecy, what is being concealed, death as another, factor over here. His mother dying, and also, the other two deaths which take place in the book. Prayer, the original, Japanese title also invokes prayer. And eventually the curtain might rise or it might fall. So it's also a connotation for truth. And Kaga meeting his, the conclusion of his lifelong mystery is another reason why the word curtain had been chosen by the author. Um, So another thing about Kigo Higashino is his writing style. So he has a very meticulous plotting style, and he has very precise timelines. He maintains the timeline. He has all these small clues which are put throughout the book, and those clues are either have larger consequences or reveal something about the character which leads to those larger consequences. So it's very, very restrained pose, very carefully written. Nothing is unnecessary. Nothing is, just for the sake of writing or padding the novel. Usually his books, even though they are longer books, but still, even his longer ones are not really padded. It's every word seems to be needed over there. And his has a very gradual revelation style, very ordinary settings, and moral ambiguity has been one of the things which he's tried to bring out in his book. Um, Always there's a lot of emotion behind the or beneath the logical mystery solving over there. And Kaga as a detective is also very emotional and sympathetic. So he doesn't really He doesn't have that very right wrong kind of a thing, but he, in a very restrained and a sympathetic manner, he kind of tries to find the solution. Okay. Um, should I stop share maybe before we do the other part of it in case anybody would like to share anything? Or do you want me to continue?
Yeah, please continue, Archana.
I'll continue. I'll finish it.
Continue.
Okay.
Yeah, you
We'll
can
go to the
continue.
discussion questions and then I'll stop. Okay. So I just thought we should talk about the Japanese literature boom, and feel free to unmute yourself in case you have some recommendations also. And otherwise, not just Kigo Higashino's book, but otherwise. So Japanese literature boom has actually been around the world and it's across genres. I don't have Indian figures, but in UK, the translated fiction figures in 2022, Japanese fiction was actually 25% of the translated fiction sales. And in 2024, 43% of the top 40 translated fiction titles were all Japanese. And there's been a lot of crime and mystery books, healing, comfort fiction, literary fiction, social commentary, surrealism, stories of alienation and identity. But despite these figures being from the UK market, it's said that these illustrate a broader publishing phenomenon across the world. And what is the reason for this has been something which has been kind of debated in the publishing and literature world. And one of the words which comes up is that Japanese literature presents that otherness that's not too other, you know. And another, just something similar to this, which I wanted to talk about was, if you remember, there was this Tamil song which released called Why This Kolavari. Does
I
anybody
remember
know?
it. I remember it.
Yeah. And it became like this
Yeah.
huge
I,
sensation.
And
I heard the song.
everyone was singing it.
Yeah, everyone was singing it. It was this huge boom and it was this big mega success and all that stuff. That song went into millions of views so soon on YouTube. And so one of the reasons why that is said is that the song has English words. So though so because there is a lot of English words thrown in, there is a kind of you have a kind of familiarity with the song, even for people who don't know Tamil. But at the same time, it's a very, very desi and it's a very, very Tamil song, Tamil, these fast beat kind of Tamil songs,
Ah,
you know,
exactly. That fast beat attracts.
attracts. And at the same time, but there are so many fast beat Tamil songs, Shamal Rauji. But I think the reason why this particular one, and that too on YouTube, it kind of blasted off was because internationally also it appealed because
Ah.
of those few English words. Why this Kolavaridi? So people,
Similarly, that Vate coming or Vata coming, President Chief Minister's song.
okay,
My
yeah,
granddaughter likes that actually.
I like the way
Vijay,
you said it's the chief minister's song.
naturally, now we have to respect like that. Okay.
So one of the things they say about Japanese literature is that most of them take place in the city. So it's an urban world, a very developed urban world, which is very recognizable even for people from US or UK. But at the same time, it carries a lot of culturally distinct features, like I was just, another book I was reading was Convenience Store Woman. I loved the book. And if you all have not read it, please do read it. It is wonderful. It's about like 150 pages. So I probably just read it like in some 2 sittings. I just finished the book in a couple of days.
Most of these Japanese works, sorry to interrupt you, they're short.
Yeah,
You
they're
will not
short.
find a 700-page Japanese book.
Correct. I
Most
think
of them
this Butter Hooked are compared to that a little more bigger, but otherwise it's okay.
I have not read too many Japanese thrillers. In fact, Higashino is the only one whose 3 books I've read. And I'm not very fond of that, but I like that they pick up very different ideas. The ideas are amazing. I'm not very fond of the translations. which is one
Uh,
reason I don't like Japanese books,
correct.
because the translations are very stilted. Don't think they still have good translators.
Very
So
true. Mm.
anytime there is an emotional, have you read The Housekeeper and the Professor?
No, but even in Convenience Store Women, I found it stilted at places,
all
you know.
all of them, when the before the
Yeah.
coffee gets cold, then the Diary of a Void, I've a Restaurant of Lost Recipes, I've read quite a bunch,
Mhm.
and it puts me off. The translation is really bad. Like, you
Mm.
read a Batman, the translations are so good. it's
Mm.
it's like it's written in English, original is in
Ah,
English, but here the translations are not good still. So
Ah,
that is a huge hitch for me while
okay.
reading
in
Japanese literature. But their
Ah,
ideas are amazing.
correct.
exactly. But
Mm.
in this
Even
book, the
this one,
names do
I,
they not confound you?
huh?
Sorry?
Names of the characters. Don't you get confounded?
Oh, yeah. But
I felt
Shamila
that.
ji, it
Ah,
happens with every unfamiliar language. Like
Correct.
when I read a South Indian author book, I have the same issue. So I
Ah,
will
okay.
not say any unfamiliar language. It takes a little while to, like the
Ah,
Ammachi and the Amma. It took me a very long time, which is a
exactly.
grandmother. Simple things like
Exactly.
that. So that I
You
kind of,
said it is a true actually. But for me, this is the first book of Japanese literature I have read. The
hmm.
names I had to connect with an Indian name, some type of it, and then proceed. Otherwise, I was losing myself.
Yeah, I was turning the pages constantly. Who was this Yoko Mata and Yoko Nama? And yeah, it's very confusing.
Those things. So
Yeah.
initially, for 50, 20, 100, not 50, around 50 pages, I was confused with the names of characters. I had to write on a separate page
Oh my
and then
God.
proceed. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It's very
Names were
confusing.
difficult. Maybe it has to, as you said, it is a new language which we are not
Yeah,
much
yeah.
conversant. That is the thing.
Yeah, it's the unfamiliarity of the language.
Once you cross the threshold, you are
Correct.
in a wonderful world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
yeah. And like what you said, I think the characters are written very differently. And so one more thing I felt even in the Convenience Store Women is that the kind of, it's a convenience store like your 7-Eleven or your those kind of stores,
Ah,
which are not. We do have a few, I think, in India also, but they are not so popular, I feel, here in India. But over there, it's like every street has one. And I feel in that UK US setting also is that very similar to that developed country, urban city atmosphere, which kind of, I think, makes them feel a, a kind of understanding of that place. But at the same time, like even in the convenience store, the food which is carried is really very, very Japanese food. The way of behavior, greeting, the way the salespersons behave and all that has that traditional Japanese touch, which
mm,
probably could be a reason why they readers kind of connect very well with them. So
mm.
there's an urban world which is recognizable, but at the same time it's very culturally distinct, and
Exactly.
that's that comfortable otherness,
Uh,
yeah.
and particularly Japan, culturally quite different from other Asian
Exactly.
countries.
True.
That is the perfection, the economy, so many things are there. Whatever they do or do not do, very perfect, very disciplined. Those things are not that easily available in other cultures. That is what I
Mm,
found. And
mm,
their exposure to the world also quite limited. That is what, and it is a wounded country, world war affected. So there are so many things to understand Japanese culture. I think
mm.
it requires little of an effort on our part.
Correct. And also, there is like a growing curiosity among people, I feel, about Japanese culture, especially. And visiting Japan has become a very, very much, I think,
Exactly.
preferred and much odd thing. And Book Talk, Bookstagram, and also has kind of boosted this. So, all of these have been one of the reasons. And like
Uh,
Tulika said, the books are quite short, so they feel very easy and accessible. And
ah,
most of the books are in that healing fiction genre, or else they are in the crime genre, which
exactly.
also is
Exactly.
makes it very, both of those are genres which people find as easy entry points into literature. And
And you remember that Mario Kindo's book?
Correct.
See, once you read that book, you have an idea of a lot of culture, simple. And I
Correct.
was reading, some note has come today.
Mm.
Same room, same length and breadth. Once it is in Japan, how nicely it has been kept compared to some house in America, actually. Very well organized, neat. Uh, Whatever is required, that minimum is there. Minimalism or something like that. She has written a
Correct.
book.
Yeah, Marie
Minimalism.
Kondo, how to organize a house.
Correct.
So
Correct.
how
20
to
books.
organize a house.
She
That's
says
what I feel.
20 books or
Quite
something.
organized in their approach, quite
Yeah.
organized in their approach, economical in their movements. That is what I feel, as a matter of fact. It's a
But
culture
it's
altogether
not for
different.
people who read a lot of. I
Yeah,
can't organize. I've
she,
given up.
she totally antagonized me by saying that you should have only some number she gave, 20
Yeah.
books or 10 books, something like
10
Ah,
that.
books, something was there.
I was like, what?
it is
Why?
it is a forced economy. Whether books or whether emotions, whether expressions, everything is forced. That is what I felt after reading that book. There is not much of a freedom.
Yeah.
That gets compromised. If you
I
want.
think one more reason is Shamal Raoji that they have that real estate is really expensive, you know.
Ah,
So a friend of mine had gone there and her husband was working there and she had to stay with her two kids for about 2 months or 3 months they stayed there. So they had nice long holiday. The kids had taken and then they had gone and they stayed there. So they had to take a house on rent. And when I saw the videos and photos of the house, I was like completely shocked. You know, probably like it's like
ah.
my living room would have been the size of the entire house put together, and there are
That's
like
what I was
separate
trying to say,
bedrooms,
ma'am.
and so there is no choice but to be minimalistic.
Yes, it
But
is
she
a
don't tell
need for
us how
them,
to
a
do things.
necessity for them. To
Yeah.
be minimal is a necessity for them.
Mm, that's what.
We have big houses, thank God.
Thank God. Thank God for that. Hmm.
I just want to share one thing this, since we're talking about minimalism,
Hmm.
I
Exact,
wanted
ma'am.
to, declutter my whatever things I don't need. But the hardest thing is to give is the books.
Correct.
I have
Oh,
not been able to even give one book
Hmm.
which I have collected maybe since the last 40 years.
Uh,
And it has upset my mom because many books are lying at her place.
hmm.
Some books are lying and they are, in different houses.
Hmm.
So as a book lover, I think it's the most difficult thing.
Hmm.
Though we would want to practice minimalism, it
Hmm.
is difficult. I don't know how y'all do,
Yeah.
what y'all do with the books that you want to give, but you're still not able to let it go.
I have. I have a
yeah.
small pile right now also on the floor over here, which are books which were decided to be given away for the last 3, 4 months, and it's there, and I'm just still thinking, should I, shouldn't I? So I can understand.
So that's why I think we will not be able to follow that Marie Kondo's
Yeah, yeah,
any advice when it
yeah,
comes to books.
yeah.
The other
Her book
thing,
has been given away.
so other things, at least we learned that the clothes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
utensils that we don't need where we can.
yeah. That we
But
can,
with books,
right?
I think it is a tough task.
True that. Very true.
True.
There
Yeah.
is a saying, if you are not using it for the last 6 months, give it away. You
Hmm.
don't
Yes,
require
I
it any
followed it
longer.
to the T for other
Oh,
things.
oh.
But for the
Books,
Not
books,
books
I
are.
required.
am not able to do it.
Yeah, very difficult it
The
is.
books come in a separate league, madam.
Yes,
We
Yeah.
cannot.
yes,
The oldest
The,
of books carry the maximum value for us.
yeah.
very true.
I also saw this video of this guy who was saying that he gives away, he has to dispose 3 things in his house every day. So
Every
he does
day.
that
That is so
every
much
day.
stress. How stressful.
Yeah, how stressful. And he's like, I've been doing that for, and he says at least once in a week, if you feel, oh, I gave that away and you feel bad about it, then only you're successfully doing it. Otherwise, no.
He's not living a happy existence, I'm sure. I wouldn't want to wake up. The first thing, like, "Arey, aaj kya dena hai?"
Oh,
That's
yeah, I know.
not a good place to be in.
I tried actually. I tried for a few days and then I gave up. I forgot also about it. Now that we speaking, I remembered.
God.
No, it is very difficult to part with books. That is my feeling.
Yeah, very true. Very, very difficult.
Somehow an attachment comes up. a paragraph, a page, or an expression, a sentence somewhere. So you
Yeah.
get attached to that particular book. So you don't feel like giving away. That's my feeling.
True, very true.
Because you feel like reading it again. We don't know when that occasion comes.
Yeah.
And for me, sir, it is also, particular books are associated with, particular points in history, and, we went to some unusual place, got a book and all that.
Exactly. They carry specific moments of our life. That is another
Correct.
thing. So you
Correct.
don't like the giving away books.
Yeah.
I have not given any books actually. So maybe I will not be able to read them, complete them. Life is always, it has got a limit. But no question of giving away books. We don't know how it helps, when it helps, whom it helps,
Yeah.
how it saves another's life.
Yeah. So,
Perhaps that keeps us all together in this club.
yes.
Okay, please.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Just a couple of more slides, and then I just planned something fun. So,
Right.
on screen, also around the world, Kigo's books have been adapted. In fact, The Devotion of Suspect X has been adapted as Suspect X in Japan, and then you have Perfect Number in South Korea, The Devotion of Suspect X in China, and then in India it was the Bollywood movie Jaane Jaan.
Yeah.
I've
The
seen this
one
movie,
with Kareena Kapoor?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Kareena
I didn't
Kapoor,
know
that
that.
Ahlavat,
Yeah. So,
Jaideep.
and then
Jaideep Ahlavat.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah. And The Final Curtain was also adapted in
Vijay Verma is the other hero.
Yep, right.
yeah, so it's this one, Jaane Jaan, it's Kareena Kapoor, Jaideep, and
I have
yeah,
not seen that.
directed by Sujay Ghosh. There's actually Monica, Oh My Darling, which came in 2022, is also adapted from Higashino's work.
Which one? Which book?
I think there are scenes of a particular book which have been adapted. Even in fact, even in Jaane Jaan, the setting has been changed, and the kind of there's a lot of changes made, and there's even the gender has been kind of like desified a bit and all that. I think like the way they behave and all that stuff. But so this one, even I didn't know. I just came up in the research that Monica, Oh My Darling is also adapted from Higashino's work.
It is from a book called Heart of Brutus, and that word is some unpronounceable thing in Japanese. Monica, Oh My Darling.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because even I didn't know. I just had looked it up earlier, so I remember this Brutus bit of it. That's how I remembered.
Okay. So I guess it's not adapted to English then. Probably
No,
only
there
the
are
story
certain
is being
plots
taken.
that are adapted from this movie.
Uh-huh.
Even for Jaane Jaan, certain plot scenes. But then I hadn't read that book. So
Yeah.
when I had seen Monica, Oh My Darling, they said it's from a Japanese author. So I'd looked up Kigo Higashino that time.
Okay.
It's a little dated movie, no?
Yeah. It's a little dated, 2022. Yeah. So apart from this, there are other adaptations of his book also, and there have been a lot of television adaptations of Kaga also. And so I had a couple of discussion questions. So one thing which kind of really popped up for me was how Kaga's mother leaves him, the lack of awareness about mental health issues at that time. And that has completely affected Kaga and his parents' lives. And do you feel that things are better now in Asia, at least regarding mental health and the awareness surrounding it? Because even in Kaga's novel, it sounds like things are better now. If it had been now, we would have realized that it is depression, because it was then they didn't know. They talk about that. What do you feel like generally?
See, it is better, but I think it's in very small number of people still. Practically speaking, I don't know. I think in very urban areas, like you and I will know probably, going to a therapist is not that uncommon, like not that much of a taboo still. But a vast majority is still not aware.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of stigma even in aware societies also, people don't really talk about it much. There's a lot of stigma associated with it, I guess.
That is
Yeah.
still there.
And aged people in the country seek voluntary death, particularly in Japan.
Yeah.
That is a result of mental health issue or because of social constraints. Particularly in Japan, that is that old people are just allowed to emaciate and die or something like that. That is there in Japan.
That is there
Tell
in
me
Japan.
more, what is this?
So you can voluntarily, I think, request the hospital or something that I don't want to live anymore. So
Yes.
yeah,
Like
so
euthanasia?
like
euthanasia
euthanasia.
concept.
Yeah.
They are just allowed to go
So
like
that's
that.
legal.
I think
Even
it's
they are
legal.
left in forests.
Oh, this is news for me.
That is there.
So only
That is what I
Japanese
was saying.
citizens
Whether
can
it
do
is
it.
because of social constraints or economic constraints or financial, or because of a mental health on one side. That is what I was thinking.
No, but
That is a point.
Shyamala ji, is it for like ill people, or can anybody do it?
Aged, what I gather was aged people.
Aged people. Okay.
Not necessarily ill is what I think.
Okay.
No, nothing due to ill. They live long actually. Particularly, longevity is longer compared to other countries in Japan.
Ikigai.
Could be that is throwing a financial burden on their progeny. That we are not know. But there is a concept called this. They are just allowed to die. No food, nothing comes in. Just go. And after some time, police comes and clears that this thing, body parts and other things.
My God, I never imagined that this was possible.
I heard somewhere that because Madam has questioned health issues. Do health issues affect parents' lives? That these 2 points touched me. Only parents are allowed to go this way. Was it because of health issue or because of money? That is finance. They are not able to afford old age treatment as we do in our country. Parents are not taken as a burden in our country.
Correct. But I
No.
thought Japan would be the same because it's Asian culture basically, right?
Yeah.
It's
very, I don't know. I feel like that's just like in India, there are children who feel parents as a burden. There are children who are more appreciative of their parents. I feel that same thing is there over there also, Tulika. There are people who, but I feel on an average, the number of people who are alone, lonely, without family is more in there, in Japan or in Singapore.
Japan, I think, because it is an old economy, right? They have a
Yeah.
large number of old people.
Yeah. And also, even in the book, if you see, most of them are having one child, you know.
Yes. This is one of the main reasons.
Correct.
They have lesser number of children. At least in India, we are also moving to the one child and no child. So in the next 20 to 30 years, we are also going to face this similar problem.
Yeah. No,
They'll
they
have
have
less
already in the no child phase, I feel.
Yes,
They are
because
already in the no child.
they
Most of them
started
no
this
marriage
long
also.
ago.
Yeah.
Correct. So that is one of the reasons why there are many old people in Japan, in China, and now China wants to reverse their population policy. So this is one of the reasons I feel for them living alone, and living alone has own mental health issues. Loneliness is a big thing, as in mental health. That's what I understand. And just as it was rightly pointed out, that there is a lot of awareness as compared to, say, 10 years earlier. And as you said, even stigma is still there, but people are not shocked if you say that you're going for a therapy.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
at least there is an acceptance. I'll tell you one incident when this was during COVID time, and I remember the date 14th of June when Sushant Singh Rajput committed suicide. For me, it was very, very shocking. I don't know him personally, but I knew him as a good actor. That death and the COVID thing, and at that time I happened to be at my mom's place because I was not aware that COVID will take so long. And it was just me and my mom for almost 3 months in a house and reading Sushant Singh's news day in and day out on television. It
Yeah.
was not a good time to be. And I think somewhere we realize that, when you are alone, these things can affect you more,
Correct.
and the environment around you. So
Yeah.
now there is a lot of awareness after, in the last 5 years, I feel.
True. I agree with you,
So,
Sarita. I feel
COVID was,
after COVID itself, there's been a more
yes,
awareness because a lot of people needed that help, mental
yes.
wellness help during that time. And that probably kind of raised the awareness of this.
People have been little accepting now.
Mm.
Though I don't think they'll accept if you are going to enter into a marriage or something like that.
Correct.
But the younger generations, I still feel, are more welcoming as compared to the one who are in their 40s and 50s.
Mm.
The 20s may be accepting because they are understanding the pangs, the mental health issues, exam
Yeah.
stress, job stress, work stress. So I feel they may be accepting.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Gen Z is the over conscious.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all always trauma, I think. They give over importance to mental.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think because of social media, it's hitting the other end also now.
Correct. Correct.
They
Yeah,
get
I feel
traumatized by everything.
I feel Gen Alpha, the school ones are actually more balanced than Gen Z
yes.
also.
Gen Z,
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah.
they are this
So
way and that they're more balanced, I feel.
yeah. So Archana, I agree with your friend that Gen Z has gone a little overboard, and our children, the ones who are in school, when I asked my child, and he's 14, and I said to him that, you're a Gen Z, Mama, I'd rather be Gen Alpha. Gen Z is too messed up. And this is a child who's telling this.
Yeah. So I told something to my son also the same way, Gen Z, and he said, sorry, correction, I'm Gen Alpha, I'm not Gen Z. It's like, okay, fine.
I wanted to just mention one thing. So there was this famous literary author of Japan by name Yukio Mishima.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, many of his novels have been published by Penguin Vintage and all that. He committed ritual suicide, and there is a very interesting, line in Wikipedia which summarizes that. Renowned Japanese author Yukio Mishima committed ritual suicide in 1970 as a political protest and a theatrical expression of his radical nationalist ideals.
Okay.
That means this ideology-driven death, that is suicide.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Ideology-driven.
Add to what all has been said, Archana.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime back, I even read, I don't know how far it's true, it's maybe controversial, that Elon Musk, he had launched what is known as a suicide in a capsule.
Oh, okay.
So it is like a pod. People can just go lie down in it and, shut the door. And then within minutes, like you can lose your life.
Has any of you read or seen Project Hail Mary? Read the
Yes.
book?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I have
Yeah.
heard about it a little bit, but
Yeah, but has any of you even seen the movie? It was
no,
just
no.
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
So yeah. So I didn't get the name of who was talking right now about the suicide capsule, but without giving any spoilers, because that's the first scene of the movie, they were put in a suicide capsule up in space.
Oh.
The beginning
Okay.
of the story begins with that. I don't want to talk more about it because I want you all to enjoy it. It's a rare book which is as good as a movie. I mean, it's a rare movie which is as good as a book.
Mm.
So
Okay.
yeah, there is a futuristic concept like that, which is very, very scary. And yeah. And the premise of the book also, like they're talking about a different I think we'll discuss it when we discuss the book.
Yeah. Let's not.
I don't want to drift, but yeah, it's a very scary premise.
Yeah, okay. Should check it out. I've not watched the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. And yeah, as Meenal said, I can imagine Elon Musk is a person
Yeah.
capable of making something like that, actually.
Crazy things.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, it has not been verified or authenticated, but maybe it's just a
Yeah.
hoax or a theory. I don't know, but I had heard that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tesla and SpaceX, his companies, they were manufacturing this.
Oh, okay. I just put this one quote here related to the mental health about depression, his mother's depression, after which I thought I have one more last discussion question. So, as Miss Miyamoto probably told you in the end, rather than death, she chose to start a second life in the city of Sendai. The expression she used when describing her life to me was of a life that was equal parts remorse and gratitude. On the one hand, she felt that having abandoned her husband and son, she'd no right to go on living. On the other hand, she felt acutely grateful that the people she'd encountered in this unfamiliar place were so willing to help. I suspect, and I don't think I'm imagining things, that the act of leaving home actually helped alleviate the symptoms of her depression. Probably she just needed a change of pace or maybe a job or something which could have helped her to pull her out of whatever she was sinking into. But yeah, the household responsibilities and maybe even financially her responsibilities may not have allowed it at that point of time in her life. And she may not even understood that that is what she needs. But it was a very interesting character and very interestingly written by Kigo. One more question which I had is when does love stop being love and become possession, sacrifice, or harm? And does understanding a crime change how we judge it?
Uh, anyone taking it?
It's okay, Nehal, please go ahead.
No, because I'm the one who's barely I'm aware of the book as such, but I can tell you overall that if love is two-way, there are chances of it to be less of an obsession than it is one way. Again, I'm just saying it from books and movies and thrillers and plots. But yeah, if it is one person is overtly invested, it is very dangerous and it's very unhealthy. There has to be an activity or a goal for the person in their life to do so that the whole focus is not this particular person, whether it's a partner, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, otherwise it becomes obsessive and it really needs medical attention. And understanding means, like, if you look at empathy, even a murderer is there. So it depends on how you look at it.
It's like,
That's how criminal law is surviving, right?
That's what.
So that's my take. But yeah, friends, if you all have.
Sure.
No, I think what Nehal is saying, that this understanding a crime will obviously always change your perception. But that doesn't again take what you said about Higashino, it doesn't take away from the blame of it. Like,
correct.
It is still a wrong. You might understand it, but yeah, it is still not right.
Correct.
That is true.
No, okay, Archana, I will put your question back to. Sorry, you're saying something.
No, I feel like always, whenever we read, even in the newspapers, if you see, we read about a murder, like anything, there was like recently in our old house, Tulika, in Kandivali.
Yeah.
There was, you remember those hills outside that surrounding the house. So that's like that forested kind of a very secluded area, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I think last month or so, suddenly there was a dead body which came from there. A young girl had been killed and all that stuff. But what after reading Kigo and after like analyzing this question and thing, I was seeing that whenever any news channel, anything mentions about a murder, it's never that this person murdered this person and it's never full stop. There's always a reasoning which is given behind it. So even in this case, there was like this guy and she refused to marry him and that's why he killed her. So there's always any crime, anywhere, if anything is there, I'm not sure if that was anywhere. We never sure about that is the real reason or not. But till we actually have something as to hang up as the reason, whether that reason is an understandable reason or even if it's a very atrocious reason to have killed a person. But I think that that reason is something so important for us to kind of accept the crime itself, I think, in a way.
But often we don't accept it, but the
Yeah.
reasons will always be there, because there are all kinds of, weird people with weird, like even Nirbhaya perpetrators had reason. Why is she so smart? Why is she roaming around at 9 o'clock? They all have reasons. But then how
That's right.
logical that reason is a whole different thing, right?
Correct.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
the reason is always
But
there.
nowadays, I don't know earlier, but nowadays gaslighting has become a very common term.
Correct.
Everyone talks
About
gaslighted, and
gaslighting
that
the victim, you mean,
constitutes
Meenal?
yeah, yes.
Archana, I just want to twist you from Japan to the Vedic era. And I want to tell you that in Mahabharata, and I don't know how many of you know, Duryodhan was the one who directly went to heaven, whereas the Pandavas had to get some temporary punishment in hell for their human flaws and the issues and all, and some tragedy through that whole journey that they took along. And that is what I'm saying, that if you understand the crime and the way you judge it, I mean, it even happened in the books also that time, that people are very empathetic to the people who are wrong, because just because he fought like a warrior and he died as a warrior till the end, they gave him heaven. I'm saying we may feel it's not right, but that's what this question of yours, I'm answering that when people understand a crime, you just judge it in a very different way.
Different way.
Whereas there are books and books written on Draupadi. I mean, I can say 5-7 authors who've written Draupadi books, but they went through a hard way. And I mean, so coming back to Japan, I mean, of course, if you understand the crime. Yeah.
Just to answer your question about, your comment about Duryodhan going straight to heaven, I think it was because he died a Kshatriya's death.
Warriors, yeah. Yeah, that's
He
what.
did not flee or, turn
Okay. Yes,
his
that's
back.
what.
He
That's
died the
exactly
death of a hero.
correct. He fought till the end and he did not break any law.
He was so cruel and adharmic and everything. But I don't know. But still, he went to heaven because of this reason.
Yeah, I don't understand this logic at all.
Yeah.
Mahabharata mythology, I think, is the most, it's very complicated. I don't know.
It's complicated, true. Even so many things, even in Ramayana for that matter, I feel a lot of things are very complicated. And
True.
Ramayana, Archana, is relatively straightforward. Good is good and bad is bad, most often.
yeah. But why did she want him to go for 14 years? Why did he cut her nose? There were like so many things which I just couldn't understand at all, It's like
all linked to past karma.
It felt
And
like an
somebody was somebody the way
overreaction
back.
for certain things. So
I feel Mahabharata is everyone is grey.
Everyone is grey.
Everyone is grey.
So you remember that scene where Ram is shooting Vali and Sugriva fighting, and he had the garland, so he knows.
Yeah.
So to avenge for that karma, in the Krishna avatar, that Vali becomes the person who kills Krishna Bhagwan at the end when he's resting near the Kadam tree. His name is a hunter called Jara. So minutest of the karma which you did knowingly, unknowingly, even for an avatar, gets taken care of. And which is why if you believe, it is layered and it is very complicated. Like we can say Taiwan travelogue is complicated because it got an award, but even our texts are also as layered and complicated.
Correct. It's definitely it's very layered, and I think that is what makes the beauty of it, the gray characters layered and
correct.
Yeah, but basically, Mahabharata is supposed to be an allegory, the 5 Pandavas represent the 5 senses.
Yes.
And the 100 Kauravas represent the vices that reside in every human.
Okay. I didn't know this.
Yeah, me
and
either.
this Pandavas vanquishing Kauravas is how the 5 senses have to work together to destroy all the evil that is in us as humans. So basically, that is the allegory of the Mahabharata.
Okay.
Let's go back to
Thanks for
Japan.
telling that. I didn't know this.
Yeah, even I didn't know this. So interesting.
Yeah, so
Going
apparently
back
it's
to the
something
question.
fought in your head, and that is how you win.
Okay. How you fight against these vices. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Then, ma'am, veering back to the question, do you speak of possessive love?
Mahabharata, the battle, Kurukshetra battleground is your own body and your mind.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes,
What was
Shamal
Shamal Rao
Raoji was telling something. Yeah.
I was looking at the question again, veering back. So
Mhm.
when you speak, do you mean to say that it is possessive love? Love that is
Yeah.
possessive?
Yeah, love that is possessive or
Acha. If I understand, actually, there is a Bollywood movie, Dar, if you remember, Shah Rukh Khan's movie.
Shah Rukh Khan,
I know.
yes.
Farad's, I
Shah
think
Rukh Khan,
Farad's favorite movie.
Shah Rukh Khan was in it. Yeah.
So in that movie, actually, Shah Rukh is very obsessive about that heroine.
Mm.
Kajol, I think.
I understand his obsession, but
Mm.
how can we justify that actually?
No,
And
you
he
can't.
comes out of crime.
Mm.
Crime is a crime and love is love. How can you join these two together?
Mm.
And particularly when the love is
Aspect
very
is
selfish.
to add to Shamal, sir, I was actually thinking about the same movie.
Mm.
And when another ma'am said about two-way relationship, if it is two-way, it's easier. But I would say that even if it's love is two-way, possession also includes, controlling people.
Mm.
So
Correct.
when it becomes controlling people, whether it's one way, two-way, it doesn't matter. It is still going to end up, crime in
Yes,
some form.
Correct.
it harms them, it harms the society.
Mm.
Yes,
It is harmful. A possessive
yes,
love is harmful. That is what I feel.
Mm.
yes.
Either way, it
Because
is. Ah,
you are also going, controlling the victim or the person, and the person has no say in this.
Mm.
no.
The victim.
So
Also,
I understand he commits a crime,
correct. Mm.
but how does he justify that? And how I can judge it? Crime is a crime.
Correct.
Criminal, that's all.
Mm.
No, but in the
La-
context of this book,
Mm.
that's what you're asking, right, Archana?
Right. I am asking in
Yes.
context of this book.
Yeah.
It really feels like she had no choice over there, right? She was small and it first crime was a mistake. It wasn't really planned.
It was
And then
self-defense,
it was
basically, right?
self-defense.
Yeah.
And she didn't even mean to kill, right? He just dies. It's in the dark and she just
Right.
tries to push him and
Right.
then it just happens. So I felt it felt very sad. It was something which when you understand the circumstances, her age, the situation and everything, then it makes you feel like, how can you judge her? You really don't feel like
True.
judging her or punishing her. Probably the crimes which came after that, yeah, maybe they add to it.
Actually, I had a bigger problem with the father's crimes.
Mm.
He kills
Yeah.
the boyfriend, teacher boyfriend,
Correct.
and then he kills her
The
friend.
friend.
That was not. I don't know. He should just run away or something. I don't know. I don't.
Mm.
And also, that was my one complaint with the book also, because he was supposed to be a mild-mannered person, right?
Correct.
He couldn't run a store because he was so mild-mannered. He would give away things with.
Mm.
Remember that
Mhm.
store they had a store, right, which ran into debts because he could.
Yeah. Mm.
So that character murdering two people in cold blood. I mean, I get that he was pushed against the wall. So, chalo, first I understood he disposed of that body. Okay, that planning was fine. But then he killed two people. That really, it just didn't tie in for me. So, which is why the book didn't work for me.
Mm.
Because I like the process, but even in Malice, in the end, the reason that he says, the why, it doesn't sit well. Even in this book, I couldn't reconcile the two faces of the father. Hers, I understood. But the father,
I thought with him, like at least killing her friend felt like he is now like gotten used to killing a person whoever seems
correct.
like a danger. That is what I felt in it. Because
I get
otherwise,
that. But
yeah.
but
Otherwise, it
imagine,
feels like an overreaction for whatever was there. There were so many ways in which could have been handled.
there are other ways, yeah. And she would have been a child which he has seen since, like,
Yeah.
She was his daughter's friend who had supported her through all the tough times, and he just, of course, he might not have known that.
And also, I think I think the whole thing, what he's trying to say is also that it keeps eating into you when you do one crime.
True.
And yeah, so you do something else to cover that crime, and then there becomes another thing, and that whole vicious
Then I
circle.
think you stop feeling guilty about it.
Yeah. And it definitely affects your mental health and well-being also, right? It's not like you could do the crime and you can just be normal, right?
Which is why in the end he just wants to die. He says like, I've had enough.
I've had enough. That's what.
Although his daughter was doing well and he could have been happy. So
yeah.
That I get.
So I think the beauty of Higashino's writing is bringing out all these unpredictable turns in human nature, human emotions. And Malice also, Tulika, I felt, that is my most favorite book of all of Higashino's writing. No, it just proves that, how pure Malice can be a motivation.
Yeah, I get that, right. But maybe I don't feel things that strongly, so I can't understand that emotion so well.
Yeah.
Most are extreme emotions.
Yeah, it's like really extreme. So
correct.
That was my issue with that book also.
I have only a couple of quotes. In case you all have anything, please feel free to unmute and share. So fuel ain't the only thing nuclear power stations need. Those places, they eat up uranium, but they also eat up people. That's how they keep going. Oh yeah, they need their human sacrifices. We manual laborers, we have the life sucked out of us. You can see it. Just look at me. I'm scrap, scum, leftovers. If you want to make something that will really please the cheap seats, you've got to be prepared to look them in the eye.
When was this? I don't remember.
This is, I think it's the advice which is given to that, by that theater director to her,
Okay.
Yeah, so he tells her that if you want to make something that will please more people, then you should be able to go to their level and look at things.
Okay. The husband, X.
Yeah, the husband. Yeah, X.
Okay.
She must have wanted to see her little boy even for just the briefest moment before she died. The thought causes me actual physical pain. I thought that was very beautifully written. The thought, when I read it, it really felt that when you read it in a flow, the thought causes me actual physical pain. Okay, so that's it. That's all I have with the Kigo Higashino. And I just wanted to say thank you so much, everybody. And it's 6 years. So in August 2020, we had our first discussion and it was The Bluest Eye.
Okay.
Yes. Toni Morrison.
Toni Morrison. That was our first book. After which now this has been our 58th book. We've had hundreds of conversations, hundreds of discussions, and it's been such an amazing journey. I just put up this small video of all the books which we've read till now. Have a look at it because I'm going to ask a quiz based on this after.
Oh my God.
That's our game. So have a quick look at all the books.
Yeah, I've been in some of them. Untouchable. Yeah.
Yes.
All the ones we've read over the years.
East of Eden was such a good one.
Yeah.
Frankly, all are very good books.
Yeah. Thornbirds, I loved it.
Yeah. I lost track in the middle, I think. Fifth Child was also one of the best discussions.
Yeah.
The best.
Fifth Child was wonderful.
Yeah.
Blind Assassin.
Yeah, Blind Assassin. Blind Assassin was amazing. Yeah.
And Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
Dr. Zhivago.
Oh my God, Dr. Zhivago.
Fountains of Silence was so good. Gone with the Wind.
Really.
Yeah. Educated.
And James was really good. James Percival Everett. James.
James
James
in
Ellroy. Yeah, that was also very good.
Very good.
So that's it. 58 books.
58 books. Fine
And
balance is more or less.
so just feel free to say, what has been your most unforgettable book?
For me, Dr. Chivago and Anna Karenina,
Okay.
the classics. I'm little.
I really enjoyed it.
the
Huh?
toughest books to read. Mr. Shamal Rao Ji has picked up. The Dr. Zhivago I DNF'd, I think, towards the end. And I really loved. So, yeah.
But please persist with it. Somehow I liked that book. I don't, every time that comes to mind. That is graphic descriptions and so many other things somehow.
Yeah.
I like that. Many other good books are there. All are above 98. Only the margin is 0.1, 0.01 like that.
Remains of the
Every
Day.
book is above 98 out of 100.
Some authors, that author I discovered thanks to Read, Write, Inspire.
Which one?
Remains of the Day.
Remains of the Kazuo Ishiguro.
Kazuo Ishiguro.
Yeah, I went on to read like a bunch of his books after that.
Oh,
You read Never Let Me Go?
Yeah, Never Let Me Go.
Never Let Me Go is fascinating. Such a wonderful book.
Even Clara and the Sun.
Okay, I've not read Clara and the
They're
Sun.
making a movie on it, by the way. So, yeah.
For me, Higashino, I was not aware of this particular writer. Through RW only, I could know about him.
Oh.
I have not read any of his books. And I'm holding Devotion of Suspect X in my hand now. I'm waiting.
You will enjoy it.
I'm waiting that book. Luckily, I got it after waiting for 1 week time. I held it, the book, and I collected it.
Yeah, you should read Malice also.
Yeah.
His book, na, sir?
Malice. Yeah, that's also.
No, he's a different writer altogether. His language is different. The way he presents things, narrates things. It's not just a thriller. That's what I found. There's a lot of social aspects overlapping.
Correct.
You can't just say it is like a James Bond, some thriller, some space. It's not like that. And the character are also human. You can connect with them. They also commit mistakes. They end up at dead ends. They are also not that every time they succeed.
Correct. Any book that made you all cry among whatever we've read?
Cry.
For me, I think The Fountains of Silence was really
Fine Balance.
Fine Balance. Oh my God.
Fine Balance also.
I was so scared.
Especially this Ishwar and that story, backstory. My God.
Oh my God.
I felt we are very privileged.
It was very correctly. Fine Balance was a book of sadness. I could not come out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't read it. Archana, I told Archana said read. I said no, I've read it once. I cannot read it again.
So sorry, somebody's talking. I'm so sorry. Yeah, please continue.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying there is another genre which, with due respect, it's called trauma porn, and that is so fine balance. And there was another book, A Little Lie. You know that book that had a Jim Carrey lookalike on the
Little Life or something. Honey.
I
forgot.
So these kind of books are a different new genre called trauma porn that they just write to win awards and do porn.
No, but I feel Fine Balance is really something. It's
from page 1 to the last page, everywhere there is no question of any relief.
Yeah, that
one after another. Every character ends up really sad book. Really sad book.
Yeah.
I was afraid to read any of Mystery's books after reading that.
Oh,
yeah.
That pushed me on the edge of sorrow like that, I was thinking.
Yeah. So nice. Now yes, Tulika.
This is the biggest surprise. Give us some.
This is just generally. I have another small game also after this. This was just simply to ask you all if there was something.
Actually, most difficult read, I think, would be
that Father and Sons was tough to read.
Small book, but it was tough.
It was tough to read. I didn't like. I think Tin Drum was somewhat very weird to read.
Tin Drum I didn't read.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Tin Drum and there was another one. There were some books. Even The Vegetarian, I DNF'd.
Oh, you DNF'd it. I finished it. In fact.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I've not read it with you guys, but I would call that the most bizarre book. I also DNF'd, like, so I think Tulika
Oh.
or who else said that? I mean, I think.
I liked it
Yeah.
very much. Very unusual. Very, very
Drama,
disturbing also for a
Very
person to.
disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very disturbing.
But I liked Han Kang's style of writing and her imagination.
Mm-mm.
I haven't read anything else by her. I mean, I should say I haven't read anything because even Vegetarian I DNF early.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Han Kang.
So she's written
that-
Human Acts, but that is historical. It's based on the Gwangju uprising in
Okay.
Okay.
Korea. So that's also a very disturbing. Her books are like that, all of them.
Oh. Okay. So I'm okay. I'm just stopping my screen share, and I had a small game also. So how can we do this? What I'll do is, so there's this clues which I have. I'm just going to give you a clue. I think Nehal knows what I'm talking about. She was there for the last. We play this game even in the readers roundtable, which I conduct over here, where I give some clue and
So
you just.
can I answer or should I just let others answer?
No, everyone can answer, but it's not the same quiz. So the books here are ones which we've read in the book club. That's the clue.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So do we
here-
raise hand and you tell us how to do
I
that?
think, yeah, that will be great. So I have the screen, half screen here open of you, all of you. So if you know the answer, maybe you can raise your hand. And yeah, I'll ask you to answer then.
Please wait for 1 second. Let me
I've
see where
forgotten.
I raise hand
Yeah,
from.
that's not raising hand. Even I am looking. Where do
Okay,
I...
okay. So raising hand is there in that, it'll be there in the, I think your...
Emojis.
Yeah, in the emojis.
God damn, I can't.
That is, there's this react button with a heart down.
Yeah. Found,
So if you just click on that, you have, I think, a raise hand option comes there.
Yeah, but then you also have to lower hand if you're done. See, now you lower hand.
If you want, you can just try once to raise hand, all of you.
Yeah, everybody just raise hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
in the React block,
Yeah.
it is available. React.
Correct. In the React block, it's available.
I can't find. Sorry. Raise hand. Okay, I raised.
Very good.
Now you have to lower also.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mom,
yeah.
did you find it?
Oh God.
I don't know.
I found it. Oh my
Sarat, you
God.
found it?
Gen X hai hum log na. It's like very sad.
Meenal, you found it?
Yes.
Okay. Meenal, Sarita all found it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me start then. Okay. And whoever I see first, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
Okay. So here it's imagine the characters and conflicts of the Mahabharata transplanted into the 20th century Indian politics. Yeah. Tulika.
Great Indian novel, Shashi Tharoor.
Yes, the great Indian novel Shashi Tharoor.
Shashi Tharoor.
Okay. The next one.
They have to clap for others also.
Yay.
So the next clue. This begins with a young man named Kunta Kinte, who's captured and transported across the Atlantic into slavery.
I know.
Roots, ma'am.
Roots. Yes.
Okay.
So that was also you have to raise hand.
Yeah, Tulika raised her hand.
I forgot to raise hand. I gave the answer.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
So raise hand.
Okay.
What's
Now
the
I
answer?
Roots by Alex Haley.
Alex,
nice.
very big book.
Yeah.
Very good book. But
Okay.
Around
Next
600
one.
pages, that one.
Okay. Next one, it's an elderly woman who looks back on her complicated family history, her sister's mysterious death, and it's a very strange science fiction story which is embedded within the novel itself. The book moves between a memoir, family secrets, romance, and stories within stories, gradually revealing what has been hidden for decades.
I don't think I've read this one.
Her sister's mysterious death. I think, Tulika, you've read it.
I have?
Yeah, and we just spoke about it
Oh my God.
sometime back. Okay, Sarit.
Roger Reckley. No.
Okay, I thought sister's mysterious death would kind of give it away. Complicated family history. Her parents die. And yeah, Sarita.
Is it The Haunting of the Hill House?
No, we didn't read it. So the clues are all
Okay,
books
okay.
which we've read it only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you the author's name. So maybe then y'all can try if you can remember. Margaret Atwood.
Okay, Blind Assassin.
Yeah, Shamal Rao.
Blind Assassin.
Meenal also.
Blind
Correct.
Assassin.
The Blind
I've read
Assassin.
it.
Yeah,
Blind Assassin.
correct.
Correct.
Sarita and Shamal Rao ji can raise. Okay, Sarita, you can lower your hand, or did you want to share something?
No, I'll lower.
Okay. A young man returns home from university with a friend and brings with him a new generation's radical ideas. And his ideas clashes with the older generation, especially over politics, philosophy, love, and the meaning of Meenal. Yes.
Remains of the Day?
No.
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 Okay, sorry.
So it clashes over politics, philosophy, love, and the meaning of life. It's a
Father
sharp
and son.
novel. Yeah, fathers and sons. Ivan Turgenev.
Just we read it is a difficult book to read.
Yeah.
Father and sons he brings.
Correct.
He comes on a horse cart actually he comes.
Yes. Okay, the next clue. Set during the siege of Leningrad, this novel follows ordinary people struggling to survive starvation, cold. Yes, Tulika.
Yeah, it's The Siege.
The Siege, Helen Dunmore.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful read also.
Yeah.
Amazing read. Okay. This novel follows a single day in the life of a young sweeper in pre-independence India
Oh my
who is
God.
treated as an outcast because of his caste and occupation. Through the humiliations and injustice he encounters, the book exposes the cruelty of untouchability and the caste system.
The Untouchable.
Untouchable, Mulk Raj Anand.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, I have not raised my hand. Tulika madam must catch me. Because every time I'm searching, where is that button? I'm searching. Attention goes towards answering the question, then finding out the tab on the laptop. But okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. So
just to take a break, I can tell the others when we did it at Roundtable, I was just standing up with my hand up so Archana can see.
Yeah. So we do this often in the Readers Roundtable, but every week we have a different kind of a theme. So usually based on if I am doing historical fiction, then I will do this with only historical fiction. Mystery, then we do it only with mystery. So
Okay. This sounds like fun.
It's fun. Last time we did only self-help, and because we did self-help, the entire bookstore joined in. Even people who hadn't come for the event. So it was good fun. Yeah. So a young Black girl growing up in 1940s Ohio becomes convinced that she would be beautiful, loved, and accepted if only she had
the blue eyes.
Our first book, madam.
Meenal. Yes, Meenal.
Where is that raised hand? Here it is.
Yeah.
Our first book, The Bluest
The
Eye.
Bluest Eye, Toni Morrison, which was the first book which we read.
A classic book.
Correct. And okay. Next one. A boy is born at a very opportune moment in India, and his life becomes mysteriously intertwined with the history of the new India. Blending family
Midnight
saga.
Children?
Meenal, Midnight
Have you read Midnight Children? Where was I?
Shashi Tharoor's book.
Salman Midnight Children. Salman Rushdie.
Salman
Rushdie.
Rushdie.
I'm sorry, Salman
We read
Rushdie.
it, Archana.
Yes, we did, na Tulika?
But I missed it. I don't know where. I must have been somewhere else.
No, I think you were there in the discussion, if I'm not wrong.
No.
So how did you guys get the book?
It's available.
Oh, sorry, that's not banned. That was the
not
book.
Satanic
Versus is banned. But it's available, no, now?
Now it's available.
Satanic
Even that's
Versus was banned.
Yeah, now it's available.
Madam, you answered one, our Tulika madam. It's the seeds are one book. What was that? I could not get.
Which
Sorry?
one?
There was, madam has answered the seeds. One book
The
actually she was
Siege,
The
Helen,
Siege.
the
seeds.
siege of Leningrad in World War II, no? About
Ah.
how those ordinary people survive starvation, cold, there's a constant bombardment.
Okay. Title of the book is The Siege.
The
S-I-E-G-E, The
Siege.
By
Helen Dunmore. Helen, Helen Dunmore. Dunmore.
I
Can
think
you
I have not
send this?
participated in this book discussion. That's why I missed it.
You must
Oh,
have
you
been
must have
traveling or
missed it. Oh.
something.
Probably the only
Ah.
one you missed then, maybe
Right. I
Shamal
think.
Raji.
Because normally I get immediately to
Yeah.
mind. This I missed it actually. When
Okay.
she was elaborating, I
Hmm.
missed. Correct. Okay, no problem.
Okay. Okay, the next one. In a future society, human beings are engineered, conditioned, and divided into predetermined social classes. Yes, Tulika.
This is one of my favorite. Brave New World.
Brave New World.
I just love that book.
Exactly
Love
correct.
it, love it.
Absolutely fantastic read, actually. And
Yeah.
our
Good.
discussion was so good on this.
Yeah,
Ah.
this is one of my most favorite dystopian
Alex.
works.
Yeah.
And his non-fiction is also good, madam.
Which
I don't
one,
know if
Shamal Raoji?
just now we discussed about that book, Brave New World.
Yeah.
Huh.
His non-fiction is also good.
Okay, I should read it,
Ah.
I think. Yeah.
Ah.
Next one. A seemingly ordinary family's life changes dramatically after the birth of their fifth child, who is disturbing, unlike the children who came before him. Yes, Meenal.
Fifth child.
Yeah. You remember the author, Meenal?
No.
Doris Lessing.
Doris.
Yeah. So, okay, one more clue. A young man in pre-independence India falls in love while also becoming drawn into the freedom movement and the growing influence of Gandhi. So his personal journey becomes entangled with nationalism, idealism, and the struggle to understand what freedom means, both politically and individually.
Raja Rao's book.
Kantapura.
Kantapura.
No.
I don't know.
No, Shamal Raoji.
Is it?
Which one is it?
There's one more which we had read.
Oh.
Pre-independence India, young man falling in love.
So many like
And
Kantara,
Gandhiji is expected to visit them and the village.
Yes, I'm
Is
able
it
to
that
recall the
R.K.
story.
Narayan book?
Yeah.
R.K. Narayan book.
Yes,
English
Waiting for the Mahatma.
Waiting for the Mahatma, right?
Correct. I'm
Yeah.
lowering the hand.
Mm.
Waiting for the Mahatma. Waiting for the I was
Finally,
able to
after-
collect the point is I was able to collect the scene, not the title of the book or of the writer.
Correct.
Sometimes it gets overlapped actually.
Yeah.
Because the scene is more prominent, it gets embedded in your mind than the title of that book sometimes.
Correct. Yeah, true.
That happened with this book.
Okay. So a boy growing up in 20th century Europe decides that he will simply stop growing.
Yeah. That
He
is
possesses a strangely powerful voice. Yes, Meenal.
the tin drum.
The tin drum, Gantar Grass. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very, I don't even know how to explain it. I read it and felt simple to read, but I didn't like it. I don't know. It was very complex.
Very
Yes.
complicated. I
Yeah.
read the book. It was about like that boy, his voice is so shrill, it will
Yeah.
shatter glass.
Shattered
And
glass. Yeah. And he's
So
so
do you
short.
all DNF a book if it is boring or difficult, or you all have to finish it?
Okay.
Basically, I try to finish it for the book club, you know. So otherwise, I wouldn't, I might have DNF'd certain reads. But otherwise, I generally, in personal life, yeah, I do DNF. If I don't want to read a particular book or if I find it too boring, then I just leave it. Or too
For me,
complicated.
What is
discussion, I
everybody else's
completely
thoughts?
agree.
Same
For
for
me, any book taken up for discussion, I complete. Good or
I
bad,
know,
right or wrong,
So
short
same with me when it comes to discussion, like even other book clubs, not necessarily only my book club, but otherwise also. Like if Kafka on the Shore, I have taken it up. I like it, but even if I didn't like it, I think most probably I would have tried to stick to it and try and
You're
finish the book.
going.
I'm planning to.
Okay.
Let's see. I misplaced my print copy. So I bought an e-copy and I'm not enjoying reading it as an ebook. So that's the only
I
thing.
think Murakami is anyways a torture, and off that you're taking an ebook. So
Ebook is so irritating. But
I haven't read
Murakami-
anything. This is just hearsay.
So Sarat just
Sorry
brought
if
it.
there
He
are any
found it.
fans. Huh.
Oh, yay.
He just brought it and he
Sure,
gave
sure.
me. He found it. For a long time, I've been bugging him that search it for me, search it. So he got it.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Okay, one last one, and with that, the quiz is over. I didn't give you all 58 quizzes, thankfully. Okay, so this is a sweeping family saga, and it follows 7 generations of people in a fictional town. Yeah, Meenal.
100 Years of Solitude.
Yes, 100 Years of Solitude, Gabriel
Yes,
Garcia.
I know the author here.
Yes, Meenal, you were there, no, for the
No, I
discussion?
don't.
Oh, you
No.
were not there for the discussion of this? Okay.
I'm realizing how many
No,
books
but
I've
I've read the book.
DNF'd and feeling a little guilty because
Did you DNF this, Tulika?
yes, I DNF.
Oh,
Too many
okay.
people with the same name. Oh my
Yeah,
God, I lost track.
that's true.
I think as I'm getting old, my patience is only going down.
But I
So it's
recently
an
came
extremely
across this
difficult thing.
Instagrammer who had
Hmm.
this wonderful idea. So what she does is she just takes a piece of paper, which
Hmm.
one sheet of A4 sheet, which is just folded and put into the book itself.
Hmm.
And as she is just going through, as she's reading the book, every time she comes across a character's name, she writes the name. And she
Okay.
comes across a place, she just writes the name of the place. And she
Okay.
just keeps going on for every new character she comes across in that. She doesn't give any explanation, doesn't do anything.
Hmm.
But she says just writing
A
that
very
down
active
once
writing.
kind of
Hmm.
like puts it in my head. And
Ah.
sometimes just when I've written it down, when I just look at the paper, if I'm like, who's this? And I look at the paper and I see that name before, that itself reminds me who it is,
It's a very good strategy, madam, which I follow.
Yeah.
A character and when he appeared first and what actually was his role. I
Correct.
write.
Yeah.
Because over a period, once you get into the book, say 100, 200, 300 pages, you
Yeah.
forget about the character, come back, and you will know actually. In this
Correct.
case, actually, I had to do that particularly. I normally do that. That
Mm.
helps you get more involved in reading.
Yeah. I found it very difficult in this particular Kigo's book. It was so difficult to follow who is who.
Correct.
The names were
Exactly.
very confusing.
I was having real difficult. So I had to make it into 3 parts. From police side, who are there, and from victim side, who are there, and who are the relatives of victims, who are
Yeah.
the suspects. I had to
Yeah.
group them to keep control of
Correct,
the
correct.
reading process.
Very true.
The trouble is there are so many good books, so
Yeah.
many, that you just so tempted to let's just get to the next
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But that is just someone has summed up, no matter in 6 words. So many books, so little life.
So little life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The ideal situation would be that you just have income flowing and all the hardcovers of the books surprisingly with you, and all you do is just keep reading.
Exactly
Even
correct.
then, Nehal, it's not enough. One lifetime is not enough to read not
True.
all books, at least the books you want to read. Even for
Even
that,
those, yeah.
there's
You
no
always have to choose this one,
Yeah.
now this one. So,
So,
which is why I feel, I'm not saying you should give up every tough book, because some tough books are very, very rewarding. So that you should persist. But you
correct.
should know when to persist and when to give up.
Yeah.
You should not be stuck with a book that you
True.
just
And I
not
also
like.
feel that it's probably the phase in life we are, or the mood that we are in.
True.
For instance, there was this book Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and everybody was raving about it. I genuinely found it boring. And I had my reasons that, it was not about NASA. It was not about everything. It was, they just tried to do a hodgepodge about everything. But then I guess a lot of people liked it. I just liked the relationship with the kid. But, it's different now. Maybe I was in a different phase of mind.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I might pick it up sometime. But
Yeah.
it was a very popular book, which didn't work for me.
Mm. I read this book called Recipe for a Perfect Wife.
Wow.
That was very
Please have that.
it's a mystery, yeah. It's very interesting. It was
Oh,
also
that.
very interesting. So uh,
Who's the author,
um
Archana?
I'm just trying to remember who's the author. I didn't write the author's name. I just wrote down what books I've read this year. I made a list and I wrote it down and kept it this year. I forgot to write the name. If you just search it, it'll come. Recipe for a Perfect Wife. And
Okay.
it's nice. It was very interesting. So there's someone moving in and she finds the recipe book of the previous person who used to live there. And then there is a crime which is discovered through the recipe book itself.
Oh,
So it's very
very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. And
Is it Karma Brown?
Yeah.
Karma Brown, correct. Karma
Karma
Brown.
Brown.
And another interesting book which I read this time was in this year generally was this Dark Hours of Night, which is by Salma. It is a Tamil book which is translated into English. And it was also very interesting. It's about Muslim women and the Muslim community in Tamil Nadu. So, which is a very different.
Heartlam जैसा होगा ना फिर?
Please
हाँ.
repeat the title, madam. Salma's book.
The Dark Hours of the Night.
Dark Hours of the Night. Okay.
Salma, Salma is the author. Salma. She's the author. So that was something very interesting which I read recently. Correspondent, of course, you know. Rock, Paper, Scissors was another thing which I read.
Alice Finney.
Yeah, Alice Finney.
Nice.
It was also very different. And
That's also
which is this author Salma ka book? Sorry, I got distracted with house.
Yeah,
Heartlam.
Salma's book is called The Dark Hours of Night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Dark Hours.
And
Other one was Rock Papers by Alex.
Alice
Finney.
Okay, Shamal Ravji. It's not like very intellectually thing or something. It's just a fun, okay, quick
It
read.
is good to read after Fine Balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I
keep
read
it-
this one, which was very interesting, was The Yellow Wallpaper. It's a very small,
Yeah, I've read that
it's
one.
like a short story, really, but it was very good. I have it as a separate book, so I'm calling it as a book. Yeah, that was good.
There's
And
another book by the same. This is Charlotte Gilman, right? Yellow
Okay.
Wallpaper.
okay, yeah, Charlotte. I've not written down her name. Yeah.
Sorry. No, it's okay. I was thinking of
Yeah,
another book.
Charlotte Gilmore Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay. And I told you I read The Stationery Shop of Tehran. I think I told you.
Oh, okay.
The last time.
So good. Yeah. And
Did you feel it's like Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam?
sort of, na? It was a feel good kind of a nice, a different book.
I've read
But you know,
it.
one thing, after reading that book, I came across an essay written, and that was so good. I think that was written by Kiran Mandral, if I'm not wrong. So
Acha.
always in the novels have a yearning. So basically it's about unrequited love. And then she finally at the end of her life meets this guy whom she was in love with as a teenager and all that stuff. And that's hyped up a lot. And then that she is with him and everything. But so many, the stories which are never told are the ones which you actually meet in life and then you maybe live a life with them.
True.
And that is not celebrated enough.
Correct. 100%. That's 100%.
Like
And
this
in fact,
Walter
that's
was such a
more
nice guy.
beautiful. That's much more beautiful and that's much more, I think, powerful also in a way.
Yeah,
No,
like
but
this
he-
Walter, who's the husband,
Hmm.
and they kept making Barman like a hero, but actually it's Walter, right? I mean, I felt
Correct. He's such a wonderful character. And her actual husband, whom she meets and whom gave her a life and who has like been with her, is not shown. That unrequited love who suddenly becomes
Yeah,
the
same. Has anybody read Everlasting Things by Aanchal Malhotra?
I have the perfume book, right?
Yeah, the perfume book.
Yeah.
In that, Tulika, without giving spoilers, don't you think Sameer's wife, that foreign lady, what is her fault in the whole thing? You know,
That
I
is
have
the
to
whole
actually
thing.
made a review mein one point on her. She was such a sweet character, similar to this guy Walter.
Right.
Just the spouse is pining for someone else. Full life he's just going
All
all
the
around.
time. Yeah.
She's raising a child. She's doing her medical career. She's even earning money. This bugger is just chasing his uncle. He's opening his uncle's diary and love life and God knows, like बाहिर sense किए तो लोगों ने चढ़ा दिया उसको.
No, but what you don't get is always more precious than what you do have. So
Yeah, but like, people were even saying stuff like if she's such a big author, like they counted number of times they counted pistachio eyes written, like she could have used another adjective, no?
No, even I didn't like that book so much. So
I would have given it 3 star because I thought it's like a love story partition. वो तो खत्म हो गया 10 minute में.
yeah. And there was too much detail about perfume making, so much that
perfume and even this World War.
It was disproportionate. So I kind of.
And wasn't he stalking the uncle? What was the need?
Yeah, I was angry.
No, Tulika, I want to write to you because even in the end they're chasing that girl's uncle. I thought there'll be a relationship between them in the World War, maybe like वो भी नहीं निकला.
We should share our reviews. I think even I reviewed it.
मुझे review लिखना, but I thought I'll have unfollowers, like because everybody has loved the book.
No, even I didn't like it much. So, yeah.
If you speak of perfume, I read one book by the title Perfume by Patrick Susskind. It is a good book.
It's a good book. It's a very good book.
I loved this book actually. Very technically advanced. Perfume, the story of a murderer by Patrick Susskind. Susskind, whatever you call it.
It's a fantastic read. It's a very good read.
Beautiful read.
Excellent.
Very good. You can't leave it in the middle.
Correct. One last book by thing is what is the word of opposite of recommendation? Please don't read. Is Tender is the Flesh.
Okay.
And it was a horrible book about cannibalism.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
how do you get to such books, Archana?
I got too much into it, so then I couldn't come out, so I just finished it. But then till the end, it was disappointing to the core. At least forget about the concept of it. It's basically about like humans reared for meat. So
Lord,
it was terrible, but at least conceptually put it aside. At least story I thought will take me somewhere, but that was also equally disappointing, horribly disappointing. And then I just based. So whoever I see, I keep telling them, please don't read that one book. Yeah. Okay, so let me stop recording and